Welcome to the world, little brother.
In an alternative Earth scenario, a series of devastating plagues is claiming millions of lives. These plagues originate from the experiments of alchemists delving into genetic science, believing they have unlocked the secret code of life ordained by God. Amid the chaos, a unique consequence of one of these plagues emerges, giving rise to a distinct entity referred to as vampires. These beings, however, are not supernatural. Rather, they represent an enhanced version of humanity born to human mothers. Upon birth, a brother is promptly taken away to be raised within the church. The narrative takes a turn when young Silas is introduced to his newborn brother Edgar, who incessantly cries, marking a potentially pivotal moment in this world of genetic experimentation and divine intervention. Silas is tasked with guiding the growth of his newborn brother Edgar. Fast forward a century, and an adult Silas, equipped with super hearing, navigates the slums while tracking a crime. His heightened senses lead him to a woman's blood dropping, and he follows a metallic noise to find Edgar making a hasty escape through a window. Silas attempts to shoot him, but Edgar skillfully evades the gunfire, fleeing by leaping across rooftops. The next day, Silas, sharing a blood-infused drink with Augustus, expresses his desire to collaborate with human police to apprehend Edgar. However, Augustus rejects the proposition. He discloses that he's been concealing Edgar's murders as Edgar deviated into feeding on humans, a practice abandoned by the Brotherhood for centuries. Revelations of such actions would lead to public panic and erode trust in the brothers, reverting them to the status of monsters. Meanwhile, in the impoverished Jamestown neighborhood, there's a shortage of influenza vaccines. Criminals steal and sell them on the black market. Captain Lily, who lost her husband and daughter to the influenza, teams up with Detective Jones to combat the illegal vaccine trade. However, in a sinister basement, they find numerous sick individuals. As Jones confronts the landlord, Lily notices his refusal to move, leading them to uncover a hidden cache of vaccines under a carpet. Frustrated with the landlord's lack of cooperation, Lily delivers a punch. The following day, a street kid hears a woman's distress call and stumbles upon Edgar feeding on a human in an alley. Edgar, spotting the child, swiftly escapes by scaling walls and leaping across rooftops. In that moment, a man discovers the child near the scene and assumes he's the murderer, but the child quickly clarifies that it was a brother. Shortly after, the police arrive and a reporter questions Lily about rumors implicating a brother as the culprit. In response, Lily instructs her colleagues to arrest her. They then examine the victim, confirming a bite wound. Lily verifies the child's account and advises her team not to disclose the brother's involvement to prevent widespread panic. Silas observes the events from a distance. Later, Lily notifies Chief Anderson of the neighborhood quarantine, fostering the belief of a new influenza outbreak. Anderson notes that the reporter can only be held for 2 days, and they must solve the case swiftly to avoid public disclosure. Surprisingly, Anderson reveals that the Brotherhood will dispatch a brother to aid their investigation. Silas arrives at the station, greeted as a celebrity. He provides Lily with a file containing Edgar's information, while his vigilant supervision observes her every move. Lily expresses anger over the Brotherhood covering up crimes, highlighting the church's privileged position that shields them from consequences. Following this, Lily assembles a team of detectives and instructs them to keep the brothers' involvement confidential. She introduces them to Silas, who delivers a comprehensive presentation on Edgar. Silas reveals that until 3 weeks ago, Edgar was a respected scientist in the Brotherhood and the creator of the latest influenza vaccine. His victims, all women in their early 20s, share no apparent connections. However, Silas discloses that he knows where the next killing will occur. Edgar has turned it into a game, leaving a recording indicating that his next victim will be taken from an area known as Bridge Square. The team divides into smaller groups to patrol the area, with Silas positioned on a rooftop using his enhanced vision. Simultaneously, Edgar sneaks into a building and through the vents spots a woman he fancies. Attempting to break in, he encounters a stuck lock and decides to wait in the neighboring apartment for the male tenant to leave. As 2 patrolling cops hear violent noises, they alert the rest of the team. Silas notices blood splashing on a window. Lily and the team enter the building, discovering the 2 cops dead and the male tenant also deceased in a kick-down door. Edgar surprises Lily from behind, pushing her into an empty room and initiating a feeding. Jones, noticing Lily's absence, arrives, prompting Edgar to escape through the vents before completing the kill. Silas offers some of his blood to stabilize Lily, then enters the ventilation shaft to pursue Edgar. Edgar emerges when an enraged Jones starts shooting at the vents. Edgar dashes down the corridor, hides in the attic, but eventually confronts Silas. A scuffle ensues, with Edgar pushing Silas through the floor. Jones arrives, opening fire and injuring Edgar's cheek. Silas shoots a tranquilizer, causing Edgar to crash through a wall. Despite Jones wanting to kill Edgar, Silas intervenes and Edgar is taken to the church. The next day, Lily, haunted by visions of Edgar, is at the hospital. Silas visits, and they share a tender moment. Upon leaving, Silas is approached by Jones, showing him a newspaper with a story about the killer having delusions of being a brother, now declared dead. At the church, Silas meets Augustus and Dr. Lepsky, who restrains Edgar painfully for decapitating a guard despite being sedated. However, Lepsky believes Edgar isn't insane, but rather infected. The doctor reveals to Silas an insane woman tied to a bed, attempting to attack him when approached. It is unveiled that Edgar conducted secretive experiments with a new virus, a practice typically illegal. However, due to the absence of any brothers being born in 70 years and never a female, the Brotherhood higher-ups allowed Edgar an exception to genetically control the birth of more brothers. In the end, Edgar succeeded, and the women in the clandestine ward all underwent transformation. However, the virus mutated, leading to the demise of most test subjects. The survivors, infected like Edgar, face limited time as his brain slowly decays, marking the first brother's impending death. Silas visits Edgar, observing the restraints causing him to bleed. Edgar expresses his desire to finish off Lily, mocking Silas for falling in love, a sentiment deemed inappropriate for brothers. Later, Jones and Lily infiltrate a house to dismantle a dangerous operation. Amid arrests, Lily discovers girls about to be sold. Sensing someone watching, she misses seeing Silas, who disappears before her view. At the church, Edgar is released from restraints but confined in a metal chamber. Constantly running toward the window, Edgar aims to weaken it. Silas' TV interview reveals he will be made cardinal in a special ceremony. A few hours later, Lipsky tends to Edgar, who killed a guard that gassed him. Initially believed unconscious, Edgar learned to deceive them. Studying the building's map, he memorizes it, then runs, shattering the window and escaping. After swiftly dispatching the other guard, Edgar pursues Lipsky, cornering him against a wall. He forces Lipsky to drink his blood before delivering a fatal kick. More guards arrive, but Edgar swiftly eliminates them. Reaching the front desk, he kills the receptionist. Meanwhile, Silas is made cardinal in a ceremony involving a blood offering with a sword. However, he returns to witness the massacre left by Edgar. The next day, Detective Kelly responds to a woman's cry for help and encounters Freddy threatening his victim. As she intervenes, Edgar ambushes her, knocking her unconscious. It's revealed to be a trap to capture Lily, with Freddy mistaking Kelly for the detective. Edgar feeds Kelly his blood, leading Freddy to request some as well due to the hallucinations it induces. Jones brings news of Kelly's kidnapping to Lily, who stays in her apartment while Silas watches over her. Anticipating Edgar's intentions, the team debates their next move, with Lily volunteering to act as bait. Freddy continues draining Kelly's blood while Edgar, positioned on a roof, uses his super senses to locate Lily. In the middle of the night, Silas watches Lily sleep and, in a dream, kisses her hand only to wake up and realize it was a dream when he hears Jones nearby. Edgar is in the apartment beneath Lily's, prompting Silas to sense him and leave through the window to search for him. Lily observes movement behind another window, and she and Jones investigate the neighboring apartment. Upon breaking down the door, Edgar shatters the window and drags Lily out. Holding her against the wall for revenge, Edgar is interrupted by Silas, who threatens him with a gun. In the ensuing confrontation, Edgar drops Lily, attacking Silas while she clings to a pipe for safety. Upon waking up, Silas finds that Edgar and Lily are gone. When Edgar returns to the hideout, Freddy informs him and Kelly that they are feeling very sick. Disregarding Freddy's protests, Edgar gives him new orders and, annoyed, kills him by removing his heart. Edgar then places the ailing Kelly on the street with a note stating, "Everything flows from me. My blood will change the world." Soon, Stephanie is discovered and taken to the hospital, where she exhibits violent and erratic behavior. More cases emerge rapidly, indicating that Edgar is spreading his virus. In just a few hours, the hospital is filled with insane and violent women who begin dying one by one. The authorities can no longer conceal the secret, so they announce the spread of a new plague. Jamestown is quarantined and martial law is in force, allowing for the shooting of anyone found wandering after hours. Meanwhile, Lily is handcuffed in the hideout and questions why Edgar hasn't killed her. Edgar confesses that he intends to force Silas to drink from her. A crowd gathers outside the church, demanding a solution. Silas, determined to save innocent lives, breaks the rules and visits Jones, who is dismissive. Silas, grabbing Jones by the neck, explains his intention to help, noticing the water in Jones's sink. Recalling Edgar's message about flowing, Silas realizes Edgar must be contaminating the water supply with his blood. Silas instructs Jones to inform the press about the water contamination and the Brotherhood's plan. He then sneaks past soldiers guarding the slums by breaking through a building's window. On the streets, he encounters a devoted brother tending to the dead, who shows him something significant. Silas arrives at the water supply and Edgar leaves Lily alone to meet him. Lily notices the pipe is loose and starts kicking the wall, creating a loud noise that alerts Silas. However, he sees a female shadow running and follows her instead. In desperation, Lily moves down the pipe, managing to kick the door open. She starts yelling Silas's name. Edgar seizes the distraction to attack Silas from behind, and both brothers fall from a platform, hitting pipes before landing on the floor. While the infected woman follows Lily's voice, she tries to enter to feed on Lily. Lily kicks the door to keep her out, but the woman manages to get inside and starts pulling Lily down. This causes the pipe to break, freeing Lily. When the woman attempts to attack her, Lily uses the handcuffs to choke her to death. As for Edgar, he tries to give Silas his blood, but Silas wakes up and attempts to shoot him. Edgar kicks the gun away and a fight ensues. Silas repeatedly asks about Lily, and despite Edgar's attempts to attack, his sick body is too slow. Silas easily overpowers him, but Edgar buys time by begging for mercy. Distracted, Silas is kicked by Edgar and impaled on 2 steam rods. Injured yet alive, Silas falls to the ground and Edgar threatens to burn his face with the steam. However, before he can carry out the threat, Lily stabs Edgar's brain with another steam rod, ending his life. As they leave, Silas kisses Lily and reveals the significant thing the other brother is guarding. An infected woman has given birth to the first female vampire. Lily decides to leave with the baby to keep her existence a secret and protect her from the Brotherhood. And the movie ends here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.